Hey there guys, it's Danny here. I thought I'd make a quick video basically detailing what happened, I think it was around this time last year. Essentially I was going on like a bit of a health kick, but as you know, it was linked, as I said in previous videos, it's linked slightly to the fact that I have bipolar. I have bipolar. This bipolar is on the spectrum. I'm on the spectrum of bipolar disorder, basically. Hopefully this is recording, but yeah. Essentially, this video is going to be about it's going to be chronicling my new self regime I'm doing. Basically, like I'm going to do I'm going to do fasting in order to detoxify my body. In a way that's going to be safe. Obviously, be drinking liquids and things, and obviously making sure that if things are done in the right way. But it will obviously be good for getting into my fat reserves, burning into my fat reserves, but then obviously will help me lose weight in a way that's obviously like, don't need to lose a lot of weight, but it's good to lose a fair amount. But not only that, it's just also to detoxify the body. And also I would like to talk about like other things that's going on with me at the moment where I've got, I'm taking tablets. I don't know if it's been covered in other videos, but I've been taking lithium carbonate, around 1,200 milligrams. I think this is like a video like diary type thing to try and chronicle how I'm like going in terms of how I'm doing with going down, reduction. But going down with the help of family, friends, and family members, going down with the help of that in terms of reducing tablets slowly. I was on 1,200 milligrams for a long time, and I am now going slowly down. I was on 800 before, as in this is a period of months. So 800 before, and then I'm going back down again slowly to 600 milligrams. But I'm trying to like weigh it up and align it with the fasting, because I know obviously it's a big change, but the thing is, like, I think the fasting would be helpful as well because, people, let's be honest, food and stuff. Some food nowadays, a lot of food nowadays has lots of different chemicals and preservatives and things, which can affect your mood. But obviously, I've got to try and, like, it sounds silly, but like some food, obviously, I have certain food that's healthy, like fruit and things. But I'm trying to cut down massively, significantly, and I'm talking like a lot of my intake will be reduced hugely, like fasting. But like in a, people will probably say in the comments, "Oh, you're an idiot for doing this. Fasting's not safe." All this, people don't realise that the body can survive for not even. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna completely starve myself, but I will. That's the aim, but it will be like eventually I have to eat slowly, but like not a lot. Like I eat little bits and bobs here and there. But the plan is to eat as minimal as possible, very very minimal, for around like, I haven't put a number on it yet. But just trying to reduce things. But there are obviously other things that I'm talking about now in this diary. That's quite important video diary, like with bipolar. Obviously, it affects people in different ways. With me, it's quite my emotions are quite. My bed's not that good, not that great, but my bed's not been made very well, but it's made okay. But basically, it affects how your emotions are regulated in a way because the brain processes it in a different way. Being neurodiverse is quite a big thing, like, as in different spectrum. It's different spectrums of things. I'm not saying like, I've got a very extreme case of bipolar, but I'm saying that if I deal with deal with something and I deal with something, I might deal with it in a much worse way, or I might be a bit more. What I'm trying to say is like you can get aggressive and things, or things can happen. But what I'm saying is I've learned a lot more in the period of time. I haven't had a relapse in a long time, but you learn things about yourself. So I feel like I'm not gonna probably relapse again. Touch wood. Oh yeah, touch wood. Because basically, I've got insight, which is amazing. Like, insight is very important because when I was ill before, I'm talking maybe when I was like had a proper relapse 2 years ago, I had no insight at all. I said, "Oh, I haven't got anything wrong with me. I'm completely normal, and there's no. It's a conspiracy. The mental health, it's not. It's like a, people try to give these labels to try and keep people under control. But I know I've got a severe, I've got not severe, but I know I've got a condition. But the thing is, I want to manage it slowly, and obviously calm medication slowly, very very slowly. But I want to start today, but incrementally decrease the tablets. I've already started already, but like making it a bit more. I'm making a note of it because it's very important to make a video diary, because obviously I put it on YouTube because it will help people that have got bipolar, and it will give me a bit more of a goal as well in life, because I know that I think these things resonate with a lot of people, and yeah. So when I'm decreasing these tablets, I'll try my best to make a note and make a note of how I'm feeling in these videos and try and be honest. That's important. I think honestly, it's one of those things where you've got to gauge it, because I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible. These things can be quite, they can change your, they can change your life. Because like when I had one of my relapses before, I had issues where I didn't. It sounds silly, but like when I was very ill, I got very angry with different people, and obviously it's not nice. But I like punched through a window, and if you can see this on the camera, like I didn't mean. I know it sounds really silly. You can see the scar there. But when you're in that state and you're angry and when you have bipolar, you don't always think about things like in a rational way. And I obviously punched through a window. I didn't realise that. Sounds silly. I didn't realise that it was gonna, I was gonna punch it through it and then take my hand away. But because it cut through my hand, it was very very dangerous. It could have nearly killed me, because if it cut somewhere else, because your body obviously got to be very careful. Because if you cut a certain part of your body in a certain way, and there's obviously you cut an artery, then you'll bleed a lot more. I think if I was told, remember, if it bleeds a certain way, then you'll know you've cut an artery. But obviously, luckily my family drove me to an ambulance. My family drove me to the hospital, and I was okay. The point being is, that is what it can be like if you haven't got insight. You need to you have to trust what people say when you're, in a state, because sometimes you can't tell yourself that you're in a certain state, but others around you can. That's one of the things that's quite dangerous about having like mania. And there are lots of other things that happen, like when I was very unwell, I used to have very strange beliefs. Like things were around me that weren't there, like things that weren't happening. Well, I didn't have hallucinations, but I had beliefs, like the things were going on that were like, for example, when I think it was UKIP came into power, I was very, and Brexit and all that, I became very paranoid. But the thing is, it's part of the illness. It wasn't rational, but like, I've done stuff in history about the Nazi Germany and stuff, the rise of Hitler, and I was blaming it on that. I was like, about to certain parties thinking, we'll get the whole world, like the whole world's going to change and stuff when things like that happen. When it was starting to, but point being is that your whole perception of reality can change. So it's important to talk about these things, but I feel like it's essentially like, I keep saying like a lot, but essentially it can be, when you believe that thing to be true, it's very dangerous. Like I thought my family were imposters; they weren't real people. I didn't believe. I thought that someone had taken my family while I was sleeping or whatever was going on, and technology's advanced and stuff now. So I thought people were like wearing masks and stuff and all this stuff, scary stuff. But like these things are like quite important that you learn from them. I think when I was ill, there was other things that, like, just very strange beliefs, and what I'm saying, the reason I'm saying all this is because, like, you learn from these mistakes. Not mistakes. Again, I shouldn't say mistakes. It's just like these experiences. You learn from these experiences, and yeah. So in short, I'm kind of just trying to chronicle this, like, journey I'm going on, through reduction of tablets, trying to become more aware, trying to help, trying to be more patient with people. I think I've got quite a good fuse, a very long fuse. My fuse is very long, huge fuse normally. Normally I don't get angry at people very, very easily, but sometimes when I'm in a state where it's a bit more like heightened or manic or aggressive, then my fuse is very short, very short, and I get very, very angry very, very quickly. So these things are very important. But, like, I just thought so I'm basically planning on not eating very much, just to like, and that's not linked to it, but, like, to purify my body, to try and get the toxins. Stuff. I haven't got lots of, I don't have, like, a lot of excessive toxins in my body. Like, I don't drink anymore. I haven't drank since last April, I don't think. But point being is, it's like you gain a lot from the experience, and I think it's important that I record it and just talk through these things. I've started a new job. I haven't mentioned that, but I'm doing well with that. I've had experience in that field before. That's that industry, so I'm not too out of my depth. But with other jobs, things can be quite stressful, but stress is handled differently by different people. So with bipolar, your stress can be elevated, or not quite elevated, but what's the right word is, like, magnified. Your stress is magnified when you have bipolar. So any kind of stress you experience can change. And obviously, different people can deal with different levels of stress. And I feel like I'm dealing with stress quite well. Any kind of stress I have, better than I did when I was younger, a few years ago. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to watch it this far, the video, but I think it's helpful because it gives you an insight into how people are, and if they're neurodivergent or have bipolar. Bipolar is very, it's a very complex disorder because I don't have any of the downs at all. I don't think, because the downs aren't there, but the ups are very high, very manic. But because I've had a psychosis, I'd be, it's kind of classified as bipolar. I had two states of, a few manic episodes. I was hospitalised a few times, but the thing is, it's like, these things I'm not ashamed of, because it's like, they need to be talked about, because it's like life, you need to learn from these things and hopefully grow. I thought it'd be good to tell people about it, because otherwise, you're just like, for example, I remember when I was in hospital, I helped people that were unwell when I was unwell myself, but it's like, in a way that's like, you can learn from these people. You can learn from other people that have disorders. This person wasn't eating their cereal. I said to them, "Oh, don't worry, like, there's nothing wrong with the cereal. I poured it myself. I took the cereal myself and poured milk in, make sure the milk was, to prove the milk wasn't poison." But there are other things going on, like when you're unwell. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but it's important to talk about these things. I'm going from one topic to another, but the thing is, I do that anyway. Even anyone knows me knows that I talk about different things, but it's good to cover different things, different areas. I try and keep myself active and stuff. Do a lot of football, do a bit of acting and stuff here and there, trying to keep myself occupied, work and things as well. And obviously doing YouTube. I'm trying to get back into YouTube a bit more. This is giving me a bit more purpose in terms of videos and content. People might say this isn't content, but I think the world needs stuff like this because it's so important. You got so much stuff that's like brain rot shit, basically, like stupid stuff like, oh, you know, like all this like memes, and memes are good and important and funny, but sometimes it's important to kind of real nail stuff down and talk about the important stuff, like all this skibbity toilet shit and all that. It's like, what I'm saying is, like, you know, I'm talking about stuff that people watch now, they ingest it on Instagram, and I'm saying there's important things that people should be watching that are very, very, you know, like, it's real life stuff. It's a real life account of what's going on. But yeah, I think I'll probably leave it there. But I was going to say, for context, for the next video, this is the start of my fasting journey for the next, I'll say 30 days, I put it as a point of view. And I'll go from there. But I think, honestly, and obviously reduction of the lithium carbonate, because it's quite, but yeah, I think, honestly, it will be good. But yeah, if anyone the video, finds the video informative, please like and subscribe. And if you feel brave enough, share it. I don't know, but it might be helpful to reach people that have these disorders, and it might be relevant. But thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.